Hello, my friends and viewers. Today we are going to review a Chinese Object 122 MT mechanical controls tank. Mechanical controls is probably some sort of a direct Chinese translation of an English abbreviation SACLOS, or semi-automatically controlled to the line of sight, because it is armed. It has 4 tubes with one SACLOS guided anti-tank missile in each. Those missiles have up to 600 of penetration, 600 millimeters of penetration, and are enough to kill basically every our enemy, which cannot be said about our cannon. We have 2 types of armor piercing sub-caliber fin stabilized shells with detaching sabot for this tank. The first one has up to 285 millimeters of penetration at a minimal range of 10 meters, and the uh, researchable second one has up to 350 millimeters of penetration, which, while not the best result as for a tank with such a cannon, is enough to destroy most of our enemies. The history of that tank, well, when I first saw this, I already could guess it's a Chinese copy of something Soviet fitted with upgrades, such as anti-tank guided missile launchers, and I was totally correct. Um, during in 1970, during the conflict on Ostrov Damansky, which is now known as Zhenbao Island, the Soviet troops, while leaving the island, had left a damaged T-762, and the tank was captured and thoroughly studied by the Chinese. The Chinese, being aware how outdated Type 50R9s are, which were the direct copies of T-55s, the Chinese, as a result, Chinese army had ordered to construct a new tank, which had received the name Type 121. However, later it was launched into production as a Type 69. However, eventually the Baotou plant 670 in Inner Mongolia had started the work on a better prototype Object 122 MT, which was armed with a more powerful 120mm smoothbore cannon instead of a 100mm cannon, and also incorporated a hydropneumatic suspension and hydraulic transmission. The turret and wheels were also based directly off the T-62. The smoothbore gun was based off the U-5TS used by the T-62, which was the main difference from the Type 69, which used a rifle bore 100mm gun. And during the trials, the gun had managed to penetrate 120 millimeters of armored steel at 65 degrees from 1 kilometer. While it was one of the first tanks to have a smoothbore gun, it certainly wasn't the first one to see the service. Eventually, unfortunately for the Chinese industry wasn't up to the task of mass producing features like the hydropneumatic suspension or hydro-assisted control, like like Type 121 Model 1, and as a result, Type 121 Model 2 was developed. The main difference from the it was developed by the factory number 617 in the city of Luoyang in the Inner Mongolia. The reason the factory was relocated from the Soviet-Chinese border was due to the fear of a Soviet attack. Here the work on the prototype 604, also known as Model 122, also known as Object 122 Model 2, had begun. The one and only difference from the previous prototype was that the new tank was armed, besides the smoothbore cannon, with four semi-automatic line to the line of sight and anti-tank guided missile launchers, which could launch the Type 302 anti-tank missiles. Each missile could penetrate up to 480 millimeters of armor. However, the Chinese industry at the time wasn't capable of producing such a tank with mixed smoothbore cannon and guided missile armament, and the project was cancelled. The additional ornament or secondary ornament of tank consisted from a 7.62mm machine gun and one the Shaka copy on the roof. If it was ever to be produced, it would be probably the best modification of T-62 ever made. However, the China at the time was still ruled by the Maoist clique which made the country poor, and not capable of producing advanced designs. If this tank war, if Deng Xiaoping and his philosophy took over China earlier, this this would already become the Chinese main battle tank. In the game, the tank is pretty good, and I personally like it. The main downside of the tank is the absence of uh, any type of combined armor, and the regular armor on this battle radius is just not enough. It just doesn't protect you from, as you can see, I got penetrated with a 105 millimeter armor piercing shell right into the frontal plate, which is very angled on this tank. It's pretty sad to see the China to reverse to the Maoist philosophy of isolation under the rule of its current leadership, and I'm speaking of Xi Jinping. If Xi Jinping will continue with return to Maoism and with Ghereization of Maoism, the China will be once again not capable of producing modern armaments.
Allied forces have captured a zone. Attack the A point!
Oh shit. I'm fucking blind, sorry. For example, this Chinese anti-air gun system is basically a direct copy of Oerlikon KDA. Yes, firing too early was a mistake. probably fired a missile at me. I still have a 40 round armor piercing belt. So where is our Sheridan? I see a burned Zahlan Tiger, probably.
Defend the B point. Enemy forces have captured a zone. We are losing.
So we are keeping the point, hoping to stock on our ammo, which was quickly sped up for anti-air guns in the last update.
Most of the strategic zones are captured. Attention to the map.
That was unfortunate. But we are not going to surrender, are we? Not enough patience had killed us. Confucius would not be proud. I actually like this machine way more than the Soviet P-62. It has something special about it. And don't just mean the missiles, even though I do have an anti-tank missile fetish. I mean, it's an example of how you can copy something and make it better.
Thank you very much.
The VMA 301 was really the wheeled infantry fighting vehicle which should have been marketed, not the Centaur clone. Oh, it has space armor, I guess. Because how can you else tank so much? High explosive anti-tank warheads. By the way, VMA 301 is also a prototype which never went into production. But it had a sort of a child, the VTL-11. A dead mouse. What the fuck had happened here? Yeah, we wanted to review an object 122 and instead we had reviewed a VMA 301. Yeah, gun-based anti-air systems are pretty useless against jet aircraft. So I'm gonna use it as an improvised anti-tank cannon. Oh, still don't have. Let's wait a minute for our Bangladesh friend to come out of battle. Which is also, by the way, a deeply modernized Type 59, which is a copy of T-55. By the way, the explosive reactive armor on Type 69 2G can indeed sometimes save you, but most of the time it doesn't. Our objective now is controlling the green square.
NDA point.
It's fair to say that eventually, after all funding of the Object 122 had ceased, the China had chosen the same road that Soviet Union had chosen before China. The number over quality road. As a result, the main Chinese tank had become
Red square.
uh, the Type 59D, which was basically T-55 its explosive reactive armor.
We're controlling most of
And the
zone.
Type 69 in game is the same Type 59D, but with NATO cannon. we're gonna become an anti-tank gun.
Enemy forces have captured the zone. Our victory is near. Attention to the map!
Once again trying to make a review for Object 122, we are making a review of VMA 301.
Attack the B point! Attack the B point!
While I hadn't slept for half of the night, for some weird reason I feel rested and energetic.
Another zone captured, we have the advantage. Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours. Attention to the designated grid square! We've captured most of the strategic zones.
So we have successfully captured the C point, but unfortunately I still hadn't managed to show you the potential of Object 122, so I'm going to record another video for this. Thank you for watching, like, subscribe, and please support Ukraine in whatever way you can. Slava Ukraini, and see you later. And if you want to see a particular tank in my review, you can always donate to my credit card so that I buy it for and make a review for you.